Bill, Terry, hi, it's Carson. Uh, just sending you guys a video. I'm sorry we weren't able to meet in person. I've had a chance to look at your guys' case. I've had a chance to analyze everything to the best of my ability, and I've come together with some sort of a plan for us to get started with you guys. And you know, as screwed up as you guys might think you are, I think we're going to be able to get you guys going in the right direction soon. Um, I've had a lot of time to look over your case, and I've put in a lot of effort to try to come up with a plan that is beneficial for you and will kind of streamline things the right way, so you guys can get rid of your debt, start building your retirement fund, and get some and kind of use your equity to your advantage in doing all of that. And so. Um, this is just the first meeting, between us, and we're, obviously we're going to have a lot more meetings and, fine tune this thing. But this is just sort of what I have so far. And, if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me whenever you'd like. All my contact information will be in the email that I send to you. So just get right into it. There's a couple things that I'm going to need from you guys before we can get really specific with the numbers, and those are tax returns and something else I'll talk about in a little bit. But tax returns, I'm definitely going to need at least 3 years in the past, maybe 5 years. 5 years would be great if you guys could get those records for me. What that's going to do is allow me to figure out your after-tax income and figure out how much a year you are putting back for Social Security, for healthcare and all that, and so that's really going to help when it comes to your cash flow analysis that I've been putting together. So that's something that I'm going to need from you guys. Secondly, I'm going to need we're going to have to sit down and we're going to have to figure out your monthly cost of living as it is today. Yeah, it's a huge thing, I think, is to self-reflect on how much you spend a month on everything, food, electricity, water, insurance, rent, maybe. So anything that is a monthly required expense, we're going to have to sit down and we're going to have to hash that out and figure out a concrete number, or at least a ballpark, of something that you guys are confident in saying that this is the amount that we have to spend each month. And I think that's an important thing for any financial planning situation, is that you have to know what you're buying, you have to know how much you're spending, you have to know what you're spending it on. That way you can make changes going forward. So with that being said, the first thing we're really going to tackle is that credit card debt. Bill, I know you have 3 outstanding credit card debts. They're all separate and they're all just below 20% interest rate. That's something that we're going to try to get rid of fairly quickly. And there's a couple ways you guys can go about that. One way is that you guys have a lot of liquid assets in your checking account, and what that means is you have a lot of money on hand, a lot of cash on hand that you can pull out easily and you can access and you can distribute very easily. You don't have to jump through hoops to get to it. So obviously the simple route right now is to just get into the checking account and pay off as much as you can after computing your cost of living for the month. Kind of giving yourself a buffer, maybe like a miscellaneous expenses fund, and then using the rest of it to go towards that credit card debt. And we're going to try to take a big chunk out of it right away, so you guys can get moving on. We're really going to focus on that credit card debt and trying to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. So the other option is set you guys up with either your bank or a bank that you guys trust to set up a home equity line of credit. Now, what that is, that it uses your guys' equity on your home to finance your credit card debt. Now, the the cool trick about this is that instead of paying your 20% interest on your credit cards, you'll be paying a much lesser rate than that on the home equity line of credit, or it's called in this industry a HELOC. So you guys will be paying less of an interest payment, and you can use that equity on your house to pay for your credit cards, and everything will be taken care of the right way. Now you only be able to reach 80% of your total equity on your line of credit, but that's numbers that we can figure out, and that I have in the plan detailed that I will send to you that you can read about. The next thing is the vehicles. The vehicles will be taken care of after that. What we really want to do with you guys is try to get rid of the debt as quickly as possible. That way, you guys have 18 years until retirement, so getting rid of that as fast as we can is imperative. And once we do that, I think we can pay off those credit cards in 2 years. And Terry, I think you should be making the normal payments on your credit card until all the bills are taken care of, and then the savings from that, you can up your payment and get that done within the year. So I don't think the credit cards will be that big of a deal once we get this plan in motion. We figure out cost of living and all of that. I think we'll be able to figure that out pretty quick and get that taken care of. For the vehicles, let me scroll here. The vehicles. I know that we won't be able to pay those off quickly. They are vehicles, and you guys still owe a lot of payments. But what I am going to suggest is that, Bill, you increase your payments $100 a month extra from $450 a month to $550 a month. What this is going to do is knock off 12 months of payments, so a whole year of payments, and what that's going to do in the end is save you $400 in interest and a whole year of having to make car payments. Terry obviously once Bill's car is paid off, then we will start working on yours as well. Now, something to pay attention to when all the cards are paid off, and then when one car is paid off, is an emergency fund. Now, I have a liquidity ratio, is what it's called, or emergency ratio, in the plan that I'm going to email you guys. But basically, what it is just a measurement of how many months your money will last you in the event of an emergency, like you lost your job, car wreck, anything that you would label as a financial emergency. And that's your cash and your cash equivalents over your monthly required expenses. And that's something that we are going to talk about, next time we meet face to face. That's something that we're going to get set in stone before we move forward with any of these kind of numbers. But I wanted to give you guys the framework and the formula, so you guys know what we're going to be going over, and know what I expect of you as my client. So the vehicles will be taken care of as like that, and the emergency fund is something that is very serious. The Dave Ramsey method is to have at least 6 months of income, but for you guys, I think starting off at 3 to 4 months of income is a good place to start until you are really free from all the debt that you guys have. And you can slowly, kind of chip away at it, maybe not go out to eat as much for a month, or, make some kind of cut somewhere else and, put that into your emergency fund. But I really think that making an effort to getting that 3-month mark on your emergency fund is the way to go, and doing that quickly is important. So too much saving can be a bad thing. When you have outstanding debt that's kind of piling up on you, you want to get that out of the way as quickly as possible. Now, your retirement options are interesting. Terry, you have the lump sum account, the investment account that is invested in the S&P 500, and Bill, you have the mutual fund that is invested in high growth stocks. The thing about those is that they're also high risk. So understand, kind of where you're coming from when you don't want to do the $1 to $1 match up to 4% that the credit union will offer you. I'm going to suggest that you take that opportunity to do that deal. If anything were to happen with the stock prices and they were to go down and you guys were that mutual fund were to lose money, if you lose money equivalent to what you invested, you will have that money that the credit union matched, and it really wouldn't affect you that much at all. So, I don't suggest going above that 4% threshold, but I do really suggest that you, Bill, take advantage of that and use it to build your portfolio. The annuities, there's you have option A, which is going to pay you, and it's going to be your amount of years employed by the average of your top 3 pre-tax salaries and multiplied by 2.1%. We figured that out until it's going to pay you $72,900 in non-taxed income per year after retirement, and it's going to last until Bill passes away. Option B, it's going to use the same formula, but it's going to use 1.65% instead of 2.1%. So you're going to get significantly less money, but the catch is that option B lasts until both of you pass away. Now, Bill, I know you want, in the event if you were to pass away earlier than Terry, you want her to be taken care of, and you want her to continue to have money coming in, and that's good. That's where option B kind of plays into that. But I want you to take a look at option A as a serious option. You're going to end up getting $656,000 roughly after 9 years. So, this is all based off an average life expectancy. That's why I'm saying 9 years. You retire at 65. Average lifespan of a male in the United States is 74. So that's what I'm using it off of. And obviously, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about your guys' health. That's something that you guys can explain to me, or you guys can keep to yourself, and use that to make your decision on what you would like to do with your annuity. Now, if the averages stay true and you guys live to be average age of Americans, then you're still going to get more money with option A. It's just not going to be just once Bill passes away, that flow of income will stop, but it will be at a much higher number than it would be if you would choose option B. So it's something to think about. There's obviously risk involved in each one, and and that's my job as a financial advisor. I believe is to present you with the options, let you know what the risk is, let you make the decision, and not me. And I'm just here to help you guys, do everything the way that you need to. So, with your new home, the plan using like a payback method and payback period stuff is for you guys to pay off your home in about just under 11 and a half years, which that figure doesn't take into account that your private mortgage insurance will drop once you reach 20% equity on the home. So it could be as short as just 11 years. You wouldn't have to go that extra 6 months. But since your house is appreciated from 150,000 to 155, that's a big deal. And being super conservative, we can expect that your house will be $165,000 after 18 years, after when you're ready to retire and move to Tennessee. Now, they're in some cases it's going to appreciate to over $200,000. So you guys will be able to even make more money off of that and be able to pocket that going into Tennessee, where I know you guys want to buy the new smaller house in the mountains with cash, so you won't have to worry about a mortgage payment or anything like that, which I think is a very smart idea. So when it comes to your traveling, you guys are going to be just fine. I pulled up some averages, like an average vacation expenses per trip. I put a table in the plan for you guys to take a look at, and you guys will see that with the annuity, no matter what annuity you guys choose, your lump sum retirements that you will just get at 65, you guys will be just fine, considering you guys believe that your Social Security will pay for everything as far as cost of living goes. And this is all just going to your travel and to set up a trust, which is my next point. You guys are going to have a lot of money, a lot of assets saved up that you won't use in your travels. So what I'm going to suggest is set up a trust and a trustee in case something were to happen to you both, and so the bank doesn't have to scramble trying to figure out where to send your assets, where to send this, where to send that. So I'm going to bring in an attorney, or you guys can bring in an attorney, somebody that you trust, and that they can sit in with us if that's okay. And I'll work with them. We can even bring in an accountant or a tax accountant if you guys have one that or we can look for one together and find one that you guys like. And we can all sit in together and knock these things out as a team, so everybody's on the same page. And I think that'd be really beneficial to you guys, to set up a trust and to set up somebody to handle your assets in the event that you both pass at the same time. So kind of piggybacking off of that, obviously I'm talking about getting a will written, and you guys don't have one right now, but I think it's important to have one. Something that I think is also important is what's called a living will, which means if something were to happen to you and you're both hospitalized and you're both unresponsive, you can't give informed consent, then a living will would give medical staff and legal staff kind of directions on how to handle you and how to treat you while you are going through this this dilemma. So that is something that we will definitely talk about. It's something that I recommend to all of my clients, that because you never know, and it's always good to have a plan. It's always good to have a backup. So when it comes to the scholarship endowment, you guys are going to have more than enough money after retirements to endow that scholarship upon death, and that is something you can include in the will if you want that to happen after you guys pass away, or if you want to do it any quicker. Obviously you can allocate that money from many different things, so you guys won't have a problem setting up that endowment scholarship. And even in some cases you both will be able to do one in your own name to increase opportunity for students, or you'd have to be able to pack more money into one, so you could make it a lot bigger and a bigger reward for the student that does win it. So that's kind of like the rundown of everything that I've thought of. Obviously we'll meet again face to face. So sorry we couldn't meet face to face this time. So I'm sending you this video, and hopefully it answers some of your questions. Kind of leaves you with some peace of mind that we've got a solid plan in place, and we're gonna get you guys going in the right direction. So that's it for me. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to call, feel free to email, do whatever you need to do. My phone's always on loud, so you can call me at any time, and we'll talk about it. So Until next time, thank you guys.